So this is Black Light. We're gonna talk about trickery, the tricks that's being played on us every day. And the first trick is this right here, law of the land. See, the Native Americans already had a culture and a way of order, a way of order and a way of living. The way. Jesus talked about the way. And they believed in the Most High. They believed in Mother Earth and Father Sky. They believed in that. And they were intermingling over here with brothers and sisters from Africa. For they were from Africa, what we could now call Africa. Because we was here millions and millions of years anyway, before the Caucasian came on the land. And when the Caucasian came about, he once had knowledge of self and who he was, but he started using Tricknoledgy on us, and we had to march him away from where we were at and put him in a prison, because we didn't build jail houses. We'll put him in a region on the earth that was desolate, and that we kept him roped in with these mountains. And we put soldiers, you might say prison guards around these mountains, around the entry of these mountains, so he couldn't escape. So he went savage. Just like putting him on an island or something, surrounded by water, sharks and whatever, and make sure he didn't, they still do, they used to do that, use a whole island for a prison. So anyway, and they wouldn't build no buildings, but they put them on these islands, and they have to fend for themselves, because they didn't want to act right around civilized people. See, so that's how we did the Caucasian. We marched him across the desert to the Caucasus Mountains, put soldiers or sentries and brothers. Their job was to make sure they stayed in the mountains. That's where the Caucasian lost the knowledge of civilization and knowledge of himself, turned into a caveman over years, became uncivilized, lost his language, lost his culture. Then one of our brothers, a half original man named Musa, went up there, taught him the civilization. Then Yaqub had already taught him Tricknoledgy, see. And Moses, taught him a little bit more of some of the scientific methods that we were using, but he didn't teach him everything. So this was illustrated in this movie called Quest for Fire. Get that movie, Quest for Fire. And I'm not gonna go into that, but in the dark ages of the Caucasian, once he settled in Europe and started civilizing himself, his science was he thought the earth was flat. He didn't have no knowledge of nothing. So he sent explorers out. One by the name of Marco Polo, who went over to China and seeing how they were using gunpowder. And when he seen, well, this could be a weapon, he brought it back. And I don't know if he thought it could be a weapon, but the queen and her council said, well, we can make a weapon out of this. And they've been going over to different lands, stealing part of people's culture and using it for their advantage, you know. And pretty soon we started teaching them the sciences, astrology, numerology, and it was destined for them to take control of this because they were aware that we put them in jail up in the Caucasus Mountains. Now they're doing the same to us. They're getting get back on us. But they're doing it for two reasons. Not for the point of get back, but the point of controlling the original man and woman of the planet Earth. They feel like if they can control us, they can control they stay in their time on Earth. So they built a system, you know, a scientific system using tricknoledgy, psychology, technology, all the astrologies, all the sciences that you can think of. And the reason why I say this Constitution is a trick is because it wasn't made for the black man and woman. You see? We were still slaves when this was being, you know, made. But we were conditioned so that we lost all knowledge of who we were, all scientific knowledge, all psychological knowledge, philosophy, and our name, our God, our culture, and everything, that we became the stepchild of the Caucasian. And we look up to him as God. Now that's on us right there. I know the conditioning that they put on us would lead us right up there to that. But once we found out who we were, which, you know, that the real deal came 90 years ago or so by Master Farad Muhammad teaching us who we were, we rejected it. And we still acting like his stepchild. He's the authority of the land. So he could take this Constitution, twist it around to bend his purposes. And by us not paying attention or giving attention to this kind of trickery through words and through action, we still acting like a stepchild in the year 2017. Even though we had the knowledge with Elijah and we had leaders like Noble Drew Ali and Marcus Garvey and others to come in and tell us that, you know, to do for self and don't depend on the Caucasian. We don't follow instructions. So now, when the wrath of the universe starts to come down on the Caucasian, some of us is going to get hit with him. Like we getting hit, we doing it to ourselves, though. We can't blame it on God, the universe, because we making that choice not to follow the supreme teachings of the Nation of Islam. Even some of them brothers, the FOI, and some of them not following it. They're deviating from it. Because they were supposed to pick up where Elijah left off. That's all it is to that. They were supposed to pick up where Elijah left off. And he left off at building a black hospital. Because now you see that they after us for body parts. They after us for the melanin. They're making melanin pills, melanin shots, so they can stay around. Because the universe is doing its thing, man. This is Black Light Out.